Hey folks, it's me, Rena from Snailworks Crochet, and welcome to a crochet and chat where I am just going to be yapping about random miscellaneous things. I am back from my trip. As I film this, it is Sunday, March 1st. I got back from my vacation plus business trip on Thursday evening, and I was low-key losing my mind. It took me a couple days to kind of recover and not feel absolutely terrible, especially after some of the drama of my flight back, where my first flight was delayed and I narrowly made my connecting flight. I needed time to not leave the house and all that stuff. At least when I was out, I actually made very good progress on my wedding top that I had talked about and have been working on, which is good. It's now March, so it's about 6 months away from like my planned wedding date, so that's pretty exciting. There's still a lot of logistical things I need to do, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep crocheting and doing things. So right now, I am weaving in the ends of a Persian tiles blanket, and you hopefully should see a video about that soon because it's like a three-part series because I kind of didn't realize that a Persian tiles blanket is a very ambitious endeavor, but I'm almost done with it, so that's good on my end. On top of that, I also am participating in a shawl swap. I was reached out to by my friend Mary over at Slow Crochet to participate in this shawl swap where we draw a random name and we make shawls for each other. I think it'll be really fun. I saw her do it last year and I thought it looked fun. So I'm glad she asked me to participate this year. I won't give too many details about that right now because I have a dedicated video that I will post once everyone actually gets their shawls and all that. That's kind of what's going on. Also, I will say in the midst of wedding planning, there's a couple of decisions I need to make, and so in that, I might be posting more videos of me kind of playing around with different types of crafts. An example, it would be like, I want to try my hand at flower arrangement because I want to see if I can DIY my own flower bouquets and stuff. If I'm bad at it, then I will just like bite the bullet and pay like $5,000 for flowers. I'm able to do a competent enough job, then I might actually DIY my own flowers. Stuff like that. Or another situation is I've been wanting to try beading because I want to try adding beads to my crochet wedding top. I have like an old bridesmaid's dress that I want to dye and then bead to see if I can kind of repurpose that into making something new. Stuff like that. Like, you may or may not see videos about that in the future. I guess it depends on how good I am at them because I guess it's not a hot take, but like, you might have seen a couple of videos about people saying you can't be a beginner on the internet anymore, and that's kind of low-key true. And I fall into those bad habits too, where I'm like, I want to try something and then get discouraged because it's not like as good and I don't want to post it because it doesn't look like something professional, so I don't post it. Like I had this one idea where I wanted to draw crochet clothing or something like that because I used to draw when I was younger. And then I drew something and I'm like, and just everything about it just didn't come out right. And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. The drawing I made looked kind of like amateurish, and I was like, I think I'll pass on this. And that was a little bit disappointing for me. And I was kind of sad for a variety of reasons. One being I didn't have a video to post, and the other being I had hoped this could be a fun idea, and then it turned out kind of bad. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to in terms of crafting. So there's a lot of logistical little things I need to fix too. Like I have to reformat my wedding website and get RSVPs, and that's a whole thing. I had to book makeup artists, which I did go for a trial yesterday, and it was really fun. So I'm gotta figure that out. I just remembered that I have to figure out seating charts and decorations for the reception, and I'm like, oh man, I have to figure out how to coordinate even setting up and taking down those decorations because I'm gonna be busy getting ready and getting photos taken on the day of. So it's not like I can go the night before. I had to like ask my, I guess, future mother in law to help me out because my own parents are gonna be taking care of my nephew, who, because my sister and her husband are both part of the wedding party. It's a whole thing. So it's there's a lot of craziness that I just had to think about. It's really interesting because I am not an organized person, or I do not consider myself an organized person. Y'all have seen my room, okay? I'm not organized. I'm not like type A at all. To people who are actually very organized and very type A, I'm not that at all. Like, I'm not very good at planning. I'm not very good at coordinating. However, I have been put into roles where I've had to plan and coordinate things before. I may not be the best at it, but I can at least do it, if that makes sense. Like in college, I got roped into planning fencing tournaments, which I'm never doing that again. When you take people who are like absolutely terrible at doing those kinds of roles, and then compare me to them, I'm like really competent kind of thing. But to someone who is like super on it, I'm pretty useless. Maybe I should have gotten a wedding planner, but like I think I just didn't want to get a wedding planner. So that's why I'm planning my own wedding. But again, there's a lot of things that like people just think about and logistics and all that. I don't know. I think if I had had a wedding outside of like the place I currently live at, I probably would have gotten a planner. Who knows at this point, but it is what it is. Now, I will say I have considered how I want to format these crochet and chat videos because a lot of them are kind of like off the cuff me rambling, and I don't know how like good of content that is, for lack of better words. Like, I mean, if you have a parasocial connection to me, that's fine. You can hear me, feel free to hear me ramble about my life. But I'm kind of boring. I was trying to think about like what are things I could be talking about when I do like my yap sessions, right? Because obviously I could talk about things that have things in my personal life, what I'm up to. I could talk. I know I could talk about my projects, but I've actually been a little bit more like chill about my projects compared to last year. I don't think I've taken as many projects on as I did last year. I've actually just been working a little bit more on my current projects and current plans versus starting new projects. The temptation to start a new project is huge, don't get me wrong, but like I'm trying to make a little bit more of an effort to finish the projects I've started than like actually start new projects. So like for example, this Persian tiles blanket, it was definitely something in the works for a while because I started the video filming for that back in September, but it was only Vlogmas when I decided to like actually keep working on it. And then similar case with like the wedding top and everything I'm making and related to my wedding is that like I had plans for it, last year, but I'm actually doing said plans this year, if that makes sense. So there's that. I think the only project that I have started from scratch new this year so far is the shawl from my Shawl Swap. But everything else that I've actually been working on in the background have been things like that I've kind of had plans for before the year started. So I haven't started any new tapestries, I haven't made new plushies, I haven't made new things at all. I've just kind of been continuing the work of things that I have kind of let sit to the wayside. In my Houston vlog, you can see I worked on a sock. Well, that sock whip is like at least a year old, right? So I'm finally working on something that I've abandoned for like a year. I have a couple more projects like that, and I kind of want to keep that energy up in that sense, with the exception for like wedding related whips. Like I know my wedding top will not be the last wedding item I make. Probably because I want to focus more of my energy on my wedding. Kind of going back to like how I want to format these videos. I know that I could like talk about, you know, new yarn acquisitions, new whips, and also just a couple of nuggets of my personal life. But again, I'm boring and I don't have that much going on, all things considered. So I was trying to figure out like what I could talk about in maybe not this video, but maybe in future videos. I know one of them is actually anime. And I had considered making a whole video, crochet and chat video, about all the animes I've watched and like what I'd recommend. Though I will say, as I'm looking at the uh, video clock timer right here, right now, I've been talking and yapping about somewhat crochet related things for about 16 minutes now. So I probably will save that for a different video idea. Some people also like to talk about like current events, like in the world, and like want to have videos focused on that too. I don't like talking about that for me personally, just because I don't have a lot much to say other than what's already been said. I mean, I have my opinions, of course, but it's just more so like I don't, what I would say would have much to add to the conversations that are already going on. And I have seen some people get popular over talking about like crochet Reddit stories or crochet drama. And as a consumer of drama, of YouTube drama specifically, not necessarily crochet YouTube drama or like crochet drama in general, as a consumer of the equivalent of YouTube TLC, I would never want to get involved in like making drama content. A lot of it having to be due to the fact that I don't have the mental fortitude it takes to like one, look at backlash, and two, the amount of research you'd have to do for those are like kind of insane. You'd have to do a lot of research and you have to do it right. And I don't know if I'm online enough to do that research. I feel like I would always miss something if I were to do that. Probably wouldn't do that either. Also, people are scary, so there's that too. I contemplated making a video one time about the tariffs and how they're actually stupid, and why some folks online are at best blissfully ignorant and at worst low-key malicious when they imply that maybe there's a silver lining to tariffs when no, that's not the case. Like, it's one of those things when like, would my perspective actually add anything to the conversation that's already going on? Because in that example, I could say, yeah, the person who made that video is kind of an idiot, but what credentials do I have to back that up? Because I don't work in wool. I do know about US manufacturing, but not in the context of fiber specifically. So it's like, do I have much to add in that conversation? Not really. It's stuff like that, and that's kind of how I feel about commenting on drama or Reddit stories or current events as well. It's kind of like, yeah, I know a couple things. This will kind of go into another tangent of mine is like, obviously, whenever you make your own YouTube video, you want to find your own niche. Like, that's technically how you grow an audience, is to have a niche specific to you and like personal branding and stuff. And for me, like, I am just posting random stuff on the internet. I would say the average younger person posting crochet YouTube content is trying to emulate like both Passionate Kelsey and Crochet by Jenna, whose entire channel is based upon I run a crochet business and the vlogs are more so how you create the items for the crochet business. And it's funny because now that I'm saying all of that out loud, like they're both different because obviously they make different things, they're different people, but like they have the same appeal, but they have curated their content around like different aspects of running a crochet business, which I think is very interesting when I'm thinking about it out loud. This is me totally glazing a couple of the crochet YouTubers I watch. As a content creator now, technically, right? I start noticing little things. I know I don't have like the highest quality like filming, sound, or editing, or even framing, but I've started noticing how other people film and edit their videos now that I'm doing this for myself. And it is just interesting to watch and just to notice of like, and I like to notice this of people I like, right? I think I've said before in some previous videos, like Killian from Viney Maple is kind of a creator I would like to emulate because I really like their editing style. Their editing style is definitely vlog project based, but also like it's quirky and fun and all that stuff too. Like um Killian really likes adding in sound effects. So the Faded Wildflower Crochet is someone I've started enjoying watching. She got popular because of yarn reviews, but those are like my least favorite videos from her because I don't like yarn reviews. I actually just like her personality in general. I kind of like how she has her like preview into an upcoming video, and I think in my Persian tiles blanket video, kind of tried to implement a little of that, but I don't know how well it'll work. I think it only works if I happen to do a multi-part video, and I have everything planned in advance. When I was editing that, I did like doing it. It was kind of fun. So maybe it's something I'll consider later on. Who knows? And then there's a couple of creators who I follow who do like their primary thing is shorts content. And the thing is, I'm not on TikTok enough to keep up with all the shorts trends. I have made a couple of shorts. Like I think I did a whole like shorts series for the month of April last year, which I did really enjoy making. That was super fun. And it made me realize that I kind of like making YouTube shorts. I don't like making TikTok shorts content in the sense of like keeping up with all the micro trends and like dance challenges and like all the viral audio clips. But I do enjoy making shorts where I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. Fun fact actually, outside of my crochet YouTube account, I do have an Instagram, Snailworks Crochet. But outside of my content for Snailworks Crochet, I am not on TikTok as Snailworks Crochet. I'm actually on TikTok under the username Queen's Palette, where that TikTok account is dedicated to me trying every single menu item at the Cheesecake Factory. I guess if you feel like following it, go for it. But literally, it's just shorts of me trying different menu items about the Cheesecake Factory as it was a thing I've been wanting to do for years. So I finally went ahead and did it, and I don't upload very often on that TikTok, but when I do, it's me at the Cheesecake Factory. If you find yourself interested, one thing a friend of mine actually said is that I review food in a very analytical way, but that's mostly because that's kind of my day job. If you want to watch someone just eat food at the Cheesecake Factory and review every single menu item, feel free to give that TikTok account a follow. But outside of that, I am not on TikTok. I feel like I could probably benefit from being on TikTok, but I can't keep up with it, honestly. I'm like borderline too old for it in the sense of like if I were younger when TikTok was out, I would be all over it, but because it came out when I was an adult and not when I was in high school, I'm like I just can't keep up. I will say making shorts content is very fun because even the couple of crochet shorts and also my Cheesecake Factory shorts that I've made, it's borderline low stakes content creation. I kind of want to do more of it, but the thing about like making shorts for my crochet channel is that unlike my Cheesecake Factory shorts where the planning is already by default there, I go and try a menu item. For crochet, it's a little bit harder, specifically because I need to have some sort of planning in mind. I actually have started a couple of shorts for my wedding top, but I haven't like scripted them because there is scripting involved. and I haven't edited them either. My crochet shorts are a little bit sporadic because I need to remember to make them, honestly. And that's kind of why I can see a lot of creators having a hard time doing both long form content and shorts content because either the long form content is the afterthought and shorts are the main priority, or the shorts are the afterthought and the long form content is the priority. For my Cheesecake Factory video, I don't have long form content for that. Making the shorts for that TikTok account is the priority, and even then, I don't make that many of them. Whereas for this channel, like, long form content is the priority, and then I remember that shorts exist. So the planning and logistics of that is actually very difficult. That's also why a lot of larger creators, both for crochet and for not crochet, hire people to do it. And honestly, I respect them for that. I guess that's kind of all I've had on my mind recently. I have a lot more things on my mind. I ended up talking a lot longer about miscellaneous random things relating to crochet and like content creation and this channel in general than I anticipated. But this is kind of a yap session. So for the folks out there, what have you been up to recently? What projects are you working on? I'm trying to be a little bit more, I don't necessarily think I'm being more intentional about the things I make and the things I consume per se, but at least I'm trying to continue the things I've started versus starting things new all the time with my crochet projects. Are you doing something similar to that, or are you just letting vibes kind of be your leading guide for this year? Which is a valid choice. I love being led by vibes. So, what kind of plans do you have for your makes this year? What are you currently working on? And do you have any fun upcoming events for your life this year? Let me know down in the comments, and I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye!